Welcome back, you beautiful brave hearts. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolfe, and guess what? We're going to talk about sciatica today. Now, who would have ever thought, that sciatica is a common condition, and most people don't even know what it is. Sciatica symptoms can be very painful and severe, which affects daily life, okay? Listen to this. Lifetime incidence is up to 80% of the population. I mean, is that crazy? And guess what? When people get this, they suffer with it long enough and strong enough, okay, that they actually end up having either low back surgery, okay, which is L3, L4, L5, and which is, I'll show you here, with bones, all right? Let me just move him around. Hopefully he doesn't fall. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right. So, look at this. How many people have actually complications, okay? Complications in their lower back. This is called the sacrum right here, okay? And then you've got L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So right in here, L3, L4, L5, this surgery is done more than you might even believe on people. And understand something. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm telling you right now that 95 to 98% of every low back surgery can be avoided, and I'll give you a money back guarantee. And this is not like a marketing technique. I'm trying to tell you that you've all been ruled, schooled, and fooled. Listen, if you want screws in there, okay, if you want plastic discs put in, if you want the vertebrae fused, or if you want rods, go right ahead and do it. I mean, you might as well. I mean, the majority of the population is so into suffering and they don't even know it. Oh my God. We have been taught that, to make money we need to suffer. To have someone's love we need to suffer. Oh, everything is about suffering. We got to suffer to get to heaven, okay? We got to stay in hell long enough and strong enough. Oh my gosh. And the reality is this. If you want to go for surgery, you go ahead. But understand something. Your bones grow back. The cartilage can grow back. The muscles can grow back, the tendons and the ligaments. And guess what? I don't mind a surgeon or anybody else wants to come on my show and challenge me. And I want to get that out of the way right away. Look I'm going to show you some things today that you're going to go, there's no way. And just guess what? Just because you haven't seen it before doesn't make it a lie. Oh my God, like we haven't been lied to and everybody believes the same bloody lies on this planet? I mean, the majority of the population, they've fallen for it. They've ruled, schooled, and fooled for their whole life. And that's on all levels, emotionally, nutritionally, financially, physically, yes or no. Okay. I hope I've made my point because it's the truth and you don't need to fall for this anymore. If you truly don't want surgery, if you truly don't want to live in pain, you don't have to. If you truly want to regenerate your body, you can do that as well. Okay? So L3, L4 is the main surgery that's done. And guess what? And the other thing is this, you've got what you call SI joints. Now, if you want, let me stand up and show you. If you take a look right here, okay, here's where my SI joints are. Feel your back, please, go in here and feel. Some of you might feel like a bone right here, a bump. Remember when you were younger, you had dimples here? Well, that's when you had a healthy back, okay? And guess what? When you actually have a healthy back, you're going to find out that your SI joint is going to feel about this big, just the end of your finger. That's all you're going to feel, this much. And in most people, if you go to feel where the SI joint is, it is going to be as big as a small orange almost. I'm telling you the truth. You can just go feel everyone and find out. And it's all scar tissue and calcification. And understand something right now. When you walk, okay, you walk like this. Look at this. These are your SI joints and your hips moving. But the majority of people, when they get to about 40 years old, they move like what? They move like this. They waddle like ducks, or they shuffle their feet, or they have this one little limp on their right. Oh my God. Why don't you go to the mall and just sit there, grab a bench, okay? I don't know, grab something to drink, maybe, I don't know, just sit back and then take a look at all of the people and notice how they're limping. Okay, I noticed somebody just sent in a message. Why are you wearing glasses? Are you a movie star? Listen, I'm telling you right now, I've been doing a whole bunch of master classes for my practitioners, And I'm not going to burn my eyes out for nobody, okay? These are called Tesla blue light glasses, and the light that comes off of here gets transformed into healing light. They're not blue blocker glasses. Like blue blocker glasses, all they do is try to stop, and they only stop up to 25%. And the reality is this turns all of this negative 5G, 6G blue light into a healing light for my eyes and my brain. You do understand that I want to live way past 100, and I don't want things falling out or falling down. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now I want you to grab that bench at the mall, and what I want you to do is I want you to just sit back and relax and watch the person dragging their foot. Okay, watch the person with the little limp. Okay, watch how many people have canes. Watch how many people have walkers. Watch how many people have electric wheelchairs now. This all starts off as an SI problem, which I showed you. I told you the SI joints are right about here. They're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches out from the spine. And guess what? I'm telling you right now, when you've got sciatic pain and it's in your hip, it's moving down your leg, you even have drop foot, okay, you're in pain all the time, guess what? This can all be reversed. Okay? Let me show you a couple things. This is called the Highway to Life. Okay, and if you go into my bhnapp.com, please go to the Evolve section. And when you go to the Evolve section, I want you to watch Highway of Life, and I promise you, I will explain the digestive tract from the mouth to the rectum better than you ever got when you were in high school, university, or in medical school, okay, when it comes to real health. All right? Now, take a look at this. This is another chart that I need you to go to, and if you take a look, you'll see it says bhnapp.com. That's our app, but go to Evolve again and go and watch this. The Holy Grail, your large intestine. And I will explain 95% of all symptoms, all diseases, and all conditions on how you've been taught to disrespect the large intestine. Okay, let me move on. Okay, so let me just put it this way, everybody. Okay, your large intestine is the Holy Grail, and understand something. It is supposed to be a compost to breed good bacteria. Now, the good bacteria makes up 85% of your immune system, and it lives in your large intestine. Go figure. How about that? And understand this, the majority of the population actually have the reverse. They've got 85% bad and 15% good bacteria. And understand something, whether you want to believe it or not, 99 out of 100 people are pooping in their pelvis, okay? Due to the glyphosate, otherwise Roundup, due to the antibiotics that are in all animal products, the glyphosate that is in every product that is a GMO, okay? And you don't even know you're getting, and due to all other pharmaceutical drugs that you take, even Advil, all of these, they all, what do? They all disorient, okay, disrupt and corrupt your good bacteria. The whole deal in the system is actually to corrupt your good bacteria, to destroy your immune system, and 85% of it lives in your large intestine, which most of you think is a garbage can. And when I tell you to do daily cleansing tea, morning and night, and I tell you to take black gold and have it at least once or twice a day, and most of your problems would be gone. You wouldn't be bloated, you wouldn't have that low back pain, you'd be moving the waste out, and then you're going to tell me that you go to the washroom. Well, understand something. People that even go to the washroom twice a day, okay, because of stagnation, it's what stays in that's the problem, not what comes out. People have anywhere from 12 to 20 pounds of fecal waste rotting inside of them. And understand this, when you do even antibiotics one time, antibiotics go in, they vibrate below zero. What they actually do, it's like an atomic bomb, and your large intestine goes off to kill the bad bacteria, and it actually destroys the good bacteria, destroys your immune system, okay? Like, really? Yes, really. You should never take antibiotics unless you're in a life-threatening situation or you're going to create one. End of story. I, at any time, would like to be challenged by any doctor. You know what? Stanford University just did a big thing on me. But you know, why don't they have the nurse that read my books, who said that I'm the next Joseph Mercola, and I've rewritten health, and I should be stopped. Well, why doesn't she come on my show and talk to me about the 2 books that they did? They paid her to do this whole document, okay, from Stanford University. Really, am I that big of a threat? I'm just a guy who teaches people how to take their power back. Okay, that's really the bottom line. So understand this: when you take an antibiotic, it vibrates below 0, and when you take it, what it actually does, it causes pinholes. Okay, and it does in your large intestine. Does anybody know why? Well, because you've just went and taken the yeast and made it into fungus, otherwise mold. And we don't get moldy or fungusy, like some people would like to call it, until we are dying or dead, because then we decompose. But because antibiotics and drugs, prescription drugs, vibrate below 0, and antibiotics being one of the worst of them, or chemotherapy that you might take orally, or even chemo, guess what? It vibrates so below 0 that it actually wakes up, okay, any fungus inside of you for breeding, and that goes crazy, and the mold goes crazy in your large intestine. And guess what? The yeast turns into fungus, and then all of that creates and makes holes in your large intestine, and that's what they call leaky gut. It's leaky large intestine, not leaky gut. And then that gets into your bloodstream, and that's why you have systemic candidiasis. That's why you have a fungal mold problem. That's why if there's a little bit of mold in your house, you go right off the edge, because you've got 100 times more mold in your body, and that just sets the whole thing off. You've got no immune system left. Okay, so what's this all got to do with sciatica? Well, I'm going to tell you what. So here's the deal. So I showed you that the SI joints are an inch. Okay, so the SI joints are up by what? L3. Okay, in between L2 and L3. And that's lumbar, and that means vertebrae. So here's the SI joint, here's the SI joint, and I told you that most people get surgery right here and at L3, L4, L5. And do you know why they get it? Well, because you've got what's called, let me see here, you've got what's called a transverse colon, and that you've got your cecum here, look, sitting right on the right side, and then you've got your ascending colon, which comes up, and then you've got your transverse colon comes underneath your ribs, and then you're descending down, and then your rectum, your sigmoid rectum. Okay? Now here is where the transverse is. Do you know what happens to everybody? Well, it's right here. It drops down 2 or 3 inches, your transverse, because it loses tone, because we eat toxic food. We eat crap. We eat packaged food. We eat too much dead animals. We do too much dairy, too much cheese, too much bread. Okay? And understand something. Go take a look at any video or picture of somebody in the 1970s on a beach. You couldn't find an overweight person, fat person, obese person. And if you did, everybody was walking around saying, guess what? It's genetic. It's genetic, okay? It was never genetic, okay? It's epigenetic. All disease is epigenetic. You were actually programmed to believe you're going to get something, and that's how powerful you are. You can create on a conscious level or a subconscious level. We have been so screwed over since the beginning of time, okay? And almost every book that you'll ever read, and I meant every book, okay, is just a lie. Okay? You know what? If we were so good, if we had so many medical breakthroughs, why are we having a whole human breakdown? If we were so good, and if they're so good, where's their money back guarantee? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Back in Hippocrates' day, they would give a money back guarantee, or they wouldn't collect the money for the treatment until the person was well. Go do your homework. The only thing that's left of the Hippocratic Oath is the hypocrite, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not trying to put the medical system down. They're great at emergency care, but stay the heck out of natural health care on a daily basis for people, because you got to look after yourself. And that's why I put the Perfect Day Guide together. Go to pdgfree.com and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I challenge everyone, because you have to challenge yourself, because you've got to get off the beaten path, because you're being beat. Now, So the SI joints are on either side here. The transverse colon starts to fall down. That's with everyone. But understand something, everybody, and you need to know this, okay? We've got babies that are born constipated. They're already constipated. We got children with so many bowel problems. You know, there wouldn't be a child that would run around with a fever if its bowels were moving properly. And if you don't believe me, the next time your child has a fever, do a warm water, okay, with a little bit of tummy love or black diamond in, which is all natural, warm water enema, and your child's fever will come down in 5, if it's a teenager, 15 minutes, and an adult, probably about 20 to 30 minutes, and you might have to do 2 enemas with an adult because they're a little bit more crustier, right? And they lack tone a lot more, so they don't bounce back as fast. And a child will get a fever quicker than an adult because its systems are on high alert if there's too much infection in the body. And remember something, the enema bag was under the bed, or it was in the bathroom, and now we don't do that anymore. Remember, X-Lax took over, and now we do fleet enemas, which is a ton of soap, chemicals, and petrochemical. Isn't it cool? Isn't that great? Okay, so now understand something. So we'll have a person that has trouble going to the bathroom. Here's the sigmoid colon, right about here. Okay? Sigmoid colon's right about here. Well, here is L3, right here, L2, L3. And if you get constipated all the time where you're struggling to go to the bathroom, you're reabsorbing the waste. And don't you think that if you're reabsorbing the waste, this is called the pelvic bowl, you're filling up the pelvic bowl with waste. Okay, get a better shot, please. Okay, move the camera, please. Okay, so somebody can move the camera, thank you. Okay, so here it is. This is called the pelvic bowl. So the pelvic bowl will actually fill up with what? Fungus, bacteria, parasites, fecal waste, pus. Oh, you think I'm kidding? There is nobody gets sick, okay, until you actually are pooping in your pelvis. And that's the truth. So now, if I'm pooping in my pelvis, or I'm clogged up here in the colon or in the cecum or the transverse colon, understand something. When that waste comes in, what does it cause, guys? It causes, okay, infection. Say it with me. Infection creates inflammation. Inflammation causes ulceration and mutation. But when you have inflammation, it creates scar tissue formation. Because when you have an inflammation, it's inflamed the tissue, it's going to become dehydrated. And the body makes fibrin to try to wall off so that the infection and the inflammation doesn't spread. Like a forest fire. So guess what? As it gets worse and you keep going to the same so-called medical doctor or practitioner, natural health practitioner that doesn't understand this, now you're going to start pulling calcium from your hip bone. You're going to pull calcium from your spine, from your coccyx. It's going to pull calcium wherever it can and as close to the fire, because wherever there's the fire, we're going to pull calcium because the inflammation causes what? Acidity. Acidity is a decrease in pH. And if you have a decrease in pH, you'll have a decrease in oxygen. And if you have a decrease in oxygen by 35%, then what you're going to have is mutation. That's right. Dr. Otto Warburg discovered the cause of cancer. When you are depleted by 35% of oxygen or more for more than 3 days, you'll have mutation because the cells want to survive. They don't want to die. So they'll live off of lactic acid. So they become acid eaters because there's so much of it because you've been pooping in your pelvis, creating all this infection. And do you understand? So then, these mutated cells, they create lactic acid so they can feed their babies. So I don't believe the cancer spreads. I believe that actually inflammation is the only thing that spreads throughout the body. Even if you had what I call stage 4 inflammation in this area, and then you had it somewhere else in your body, it didn't spread there. The inflammation spread, and this was just the next weak link. If you're not going to bring up your vibration, if you're not going to change the way you think, the way you drink, the way you eat, who you hang around with, and what you do in your life, why wouldn't the next weakest place just blow out? That's all it is. You can't show me that actually cancer cells spread throughout the body. Anyways, we're not on to that today. We're talking about, what? What are we talking about? We're talking about sciatica. And with sciatica, most of it is coming because guess what? You see your abdomen here? Okay, your abdomen. Can you get a shot of my abdomen, please? Lower, please. Thank you. Okay, so your abdomen here is called your core. And your core is on the floor, even if it's not sticking out like a beach ball because you're full of gas, even if it's not hanging down over your belt because your large intestine, the transverse colon is falling out, your guts are falling out. It could be falling down and in. And the reality is, what's that core like? Because your core, your abdominal muscles are the most important group of muscles, and that's what you do to pick up your groceries. That's what you do to get on the toilet, off the toilet, in bed, out of bed, in the car, out of the car. That's how you make love. You need your core. And when you no longer have your core, then your back muscles, are you ready for this? Have to take over. You should be never using your back to stand up, lay down, get on the toilet, get off the toilet, pick up the groceries, pick up the grandchildren, do whatever you need to do. Your back is just to house your spine, because your spine, it sends most of the inflammation and light to your brain to tell your brain what chemicals and hormones to send down, but you're not supposed to use your back. So understand something. When you start to get and lose tone in your large intestine, you are losing tone in your abdominal muscles. They go along together. So when that happens, so whatever tone you lose here, that means that your muscles will get tighter to try to become stronger, but they'll become tighter here. So if I'm loose here and pooping in the pelvis, and if I've got tight muscles back here in contraction, I'm not going to have circulation here, but I will have inflammation because I'm so contracted, okay? And up front, guess what? When you lose tone, you know what happens? Guess what? When you don't have flow and you don't go, you become stagnant. Now you got a swamp, and in every swamp you got bugs, and those bugs are called mold, they're called fungus, they're called bad bacteria, they're called parasites, worms. Okay, remember something, everybody. Okay, everybody comes to the manure pile. It's a parasite party. Now, what's that got to do with this whole sciatic problem? Well, I just told you, if you're losing the tone up front, you're getting tighter in the back. And if you're getting tighter in the back, you have less circulation. Let me tell you something. Wherever you've got stiffness, wherever you've got pain, wherever you've got swelling, you've got a scar tissue calcification block. And if you don't reopen up that scar tissue to get the blood flow back in so it becomes flexible, so it can open up and shut, like your tendons and ligaments, they'll stretch and they'll come back. They'll stretch and they'll come back. But with inflammation, you get dehydration in your muscles, tendons, ligaments, and guess what? They don't come back. And you also will lose, the cartilage, the discs in between the vertebrae. You haven't lost any of the cartilage. It's just dehydrated and you don't have any fluid here, so you don't have the bounce anymore. Look if you come to us, I just told you, if you're booked for hip surgery, if you're booked, if you've had if you had a cesarean, oh boy, then you've lost most of your muscle tissue in your abdomen, and you're already pooping in your pelvis, and you've got a big dam blocking the river, and you're going to have all kinds of trouble. Any woman that's ever had a cesarean needs to get cell sonic regeneration, and she needs to get non-surgical. I'll do one treatment on you, and you will go, hallelujah, Lord. Oh my God, I can't believe this. And that's the deal. You can come to me with a hip problem. I'll do one treatment. If I don't blow your mind, okay, and you go, oh my gosh, where has this been? Let me tell you something. So when I got out of school, I became a registered massage therapist. I was a registered massage therapist for 1 year, and I actually got rid of my diploma. I didn't pay their dues anymore. I was not going to spend an hour doing effleurage and petrissage and trigger point therapy, and I wasn't, I'm a critical thinker. So I put Wolfe Non-Surgical, together when I was actually 28 years old. It was I did my first course in it, and I will actually tomorrow I'll come on here and show you when I was 28 years old, and I was actually teaching the course. I will put my money where my mouth is. Otherwise, I will prove to you that I am not lying. And ever since then, I have given a money-back guarantee for all my work. Okay, so I want to show you something. But just know this, All that stiffness, okay, did we lose the video? Rafa? Are we back? Okay, we were frozen. So just know this, all that stiffness in your back, the first time you come to us, a minimum of 60% to 85% relief. How's that? I'll tell you that. You can come to me or you can come to one of my practitioners. We have thousands of practitioners that we've taught all over the world. I want to show you something. You ready for this? And this is now you're gonna go, oh my God, I really don't know about this guy. There we go. Okay, you see this slide? Yeah, that's right. That's somebody's bum. But we did white out the important part. Did you see that too? Okay, now I'm gonna tell you something right now. This gentleman here, and you can take this to the bank, okay? And he knows I have this. And this gentleman here, 20 years, he had low back pain to the point that it was always on his mind, always bothering him. Going to chiropractors twice a week, massage once a week, acupuncture, physiotherapist, okay, osteopaths, doing it. I'm going to tell you the true story, okay? All right? And if you want, I'm sure that he wouldn't mind coming on. If you don't want to believe me, I'll bring him on. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the questions in a bit here, if there are some. If you have any questions, you guys, you can just ask me. Okay, here we go. Are you ready for this? Okay, so this guy's name is Tim. Tim goes, Daryl, this is when I was in Phoenix. I really need to work on you, man. I mean, I really need you to work on me. Okay, I have had so much trouble with this. So much pain with my low back. I've done everything, gone everywhere, spent thousands of dollars. I go, okay, Tim, I went in and his SI joint wasn't this big, okay, which should be like the head of a pencil. Okay, that's the SI. You should feel that bone. It should be just the head of a pencil and have a little dimple in the area. It was, without exaggeration, it was this big. That was all scar tissue and crystallization, calcification, because he used to do breakdancing and he used to do back flips, front flips, okay? And then, guess what? He's still in good shape. He really is. And he works out, and he said, you know what, Daryl? I've been trying to work this out, stretch this out, and you know what? Every time I do, I just seem to have more pain. I get a little relief when I'm working out, but then I have more pain afterwards. And I'm going, well, that's because you have so much scar tissue in there and calcification. If you're not an elastic band anymore, you're not going to bounce back. You're micro tearing the scar tissue. And every time you micro tear and you go, ooh, every time you go, ooh, ow, ooh, every time you do that, that area is actually just putting more scar tissue, more calcification there until that low back's going to be frozen. You're either going to have to get surgery on L3, L4, L5, or your hip is going to blow out. One of your hips are going to blow out. And guess what? It was his right one, believe it or not. And his right one, look at the bruising on his butt. Oh, here's this part you're going to love. Okay, and this is where you're going to go, oh, I wouldn't come to you. And you know what? It's so great that, I got to tell you, the majority of the population is programmed on every level. On every level. I'm not putting anybody down. Listen to me. I could be there. To be programmed to hurt yourself and to live with and suffer with things for your whole life is not hard to do on this planet when everybody's lying to you. And the ones that aren't lying, they've just never been taught properly, and that's all they know, so they don't know any better. Welcome to planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. Now, so I'll tell you what I did. I worked on the cell sonic with them. I'm going to show it to you because I really do want to show you and go over things. Here, I'm going to bring this back on, okay? Now this here, people call me all the time that they have energy medicine devices, just so you know, okay? They really do. And, but there's nothing like cell sonic regeneration. 25,000 volts in put it into a love harmonic that comes out of this pulse head. There's no pain that comes out of it. And it actually goes in and fractures the calcium, but it actually brings electricity back into, because we are electrical magnetic energy people. When you're dead, you have no electricity. When you're sick and in bed, you can't get out, you have hardly any. And when you're me, I've got a lot because I know how to hack everything. I know how to keep my energy. I'm 67, I'm just getting started. So this cell sonic regeneration, it pulses and it'll go in and fracture the calcium. Any calcium that's been pulled from the bones, it will create little fractures to ionize it so that we can get it back into the bones. And it will bring in a electrical frequency, like actually electricity, into the muscle tissues, just like that Frankenstein movie where, where he hooked him up and there was a lightning bolt and he went, he's alive. Well, we're going to bring that stuff back to life. So what I did was, I only did his SI joints. I did do L3, L4, L5, okay, because I had somebody that was picking up the Cellsonic to take it to LA. So I told him we can only do with the Cellsonic regeneration. I did L3, L4, L5, and I did just around his SI joints and just the area. And remember what I said, it should have been only that big, but it was actually this big, okay? All right? So, here we go. So, I do the Cellsonic first, and I did the left side. Now, the left side was not the worst side. Now, do you guys see the bruising on his bum? Can you bring that up, please? Show the picture. You don't need me, just show the picture, okay? Here, I'm going to move the Cellsonic, okay? All right? Now, if you take a look at the picture, just keep focusing on the picture, everyone. I'm going to explain this to you. Okay, only sick tissues bruise. Do you understand? Only sick tissues bruise. Then if you look in the bottom, it says issues in the tissues. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, everyone, can you bring the video camera back to me? Whether you want to believe this or not, when you cannot process the resolve of a problem, it gets stored layer on layer. When you can resolve a problem, it just energizes you and there's nothing stuck. Understand, I said, Tim, you have now for 20 years since you first damaged, okay, that area, and you keep having problems. 20 years, holy crap. I said, you know how much suffering you've done? And every time that you actually started suffering from this problem, guess what? And you couldn't fix it. Please show the slide, me and the slide. Keep it there. Don't change it. Thank you. Don't change it. Now, thank you. So I said, you have to understand something. Every time that you felt pain and you went, oh God, and you don't have an answer, you suppress it. And where does it get suppressed? Exactly where the damage is. So I'm telling you, if you have something like stage 3 or 4 inflammation of your breast, ladies, and every time you feel pain there, and it angers you, okay, and it depresses you, guess what? It's actually going to grow. You have to teach your way a whole different way of thinking. Whether you want to believe it or not, I will never ever have a cold or flu. I will never ever have a disease. My mother got cancer twice. My father got cancer 3 times. I took and helped my mother get rid of her cancer the first time. I couldn't do it the second. My father had leukemia. We got it gone twice, and then the third time he was gone. Understand something. If you can't change here, you're not going to change here. Now, that doesn't mean that we work on you and it comes back. I tried to make him understand this because here's what he did. His wife's friend is a massage therapist. He took a picture of this and he sent it to his wife's friend who's a massage therapist. And she said, oh my God, how could you allow this person to do this? Understand something. Every time that I ever get attacked, okay, and I mean attacked, whether it be from media or from medical or the government, you know what? It's because we're different. And understand something. You can believe this or not, but I will bring them on my show if people want proof. Anybody there need proof? I will call Tim up and he'll do it. But I'd rather not, but I know he would do it for me because he doesn't want people to think that I did anything except the right thing. Now here it is. I did the Cellsonic. Then I went in, I worked on the left side. I'll be honest with you. It took me 20 minutes on the left side just to do the SI joint. Did you know that I never touched his butt? Did you know that he has bruising in his butt because he had so much emotional and physical damage locked around that SI area and his low back that when I opened it up, understand, Okay, I call it clapping, everyone. Can you grab me a clapper, please? Okay, grab me a clapper, and right there, please. Todd or someone. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. Healthy people don't bruise. Do you know Grandma and Grandpa? Grandpa wakes up, right? Grandpa wakes up in the morning, and he goes, oh my God, look at the bruising on my arm. Look at the bruising on my leg. I never bumped into anything. Well, that's because Grandpa is decomposing. Grandpa is rotten. His tissues are rotting. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, all of the frustration, all of the anger about not getting his back fixed for over 20 years, where do you think all that goes? Where do you think it goes? Okay, your body will actually lock it in and hold it until you find the answer. So I did not even touch his butt. So the massage therapist says, oh my God, how could you go to a guy like that? And guess what? He's been going to the massage therapist for years. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, okay, all right? We're talking about, I did this work on him 10 days ago. I talked to him yesterday. Daryl, ever since you worked on me, man, you have no idea. You didn't just fix my low back. You changed my whole attitude. I mean, everything in my life has changed. Now you can go, oh, what a bunch of BS, Dr. Wolfe. Really? Well, why don't you talk to somebody that has a crippling situation going on for 20 years, 10 years, how about even 1 year? 1 year where you're dragging your foot, or you got pain running down your leg or down your arm or in your neck, okay, or you've got it in your abdomen, or you've got it in your knee, and they tell you that they can't do knee surgery or hip surgery for a year. I'll tell you, I will reverse that thing, and I'll do the first treatment, money back guarantee, and I'll prove to you that your knee will come back, the cartilage will grow back, the bone will grow back, the tendons, the ligaments, I don't care where you're talking in the body. We have been created by God Almighty, and we need to act like it. So then I did the left one, but when I went to do the right one, that took me about probably another extra 10 minutes longer. That one, holy smokes, it was about this big, okay? All right? It was so hard, that area. It was like a rubber mat. So the scar tissue and the calcification was so bad, it was like a rubber mat, and I'm trying to find a crack or somewhere to get in there. It took me a while to get in there. So you can see the bruising there. Now, the next time I see Tim, because Tim and his wife are going to come, because I'm going to be working on his wife and him too. But the next time he comes, it'll be a walk in the park. I'll just tweak things. But I had to go, I wasn't getting rid of him, okay, tearing his back out, okay. 20 years ago, I was getting rid of his back being calcified and scar tissue and continually building up for 20 years. What do you think I'm going to do? Use an acupuncture needle and bring in some energy to actually get rid of that? Oh no, I'm going to do some massage, or what am I going to do? A chiropractic adjustment? No. Understand something. There is nobody like us. There is nobody, and there's nobody like our training. The next training here is actually in near the end of January, and I'll give anybody a money-back guarantee. I don't care if you've been a chiropractor, massage therapist, or any type of physiotherapist, body worker. We'll rock your socks by the third day, or I'll give you your money back, okay? I don't know what else you want, okay? Now, this is called clapping. I didn't invent this. This is 10,000 years old, and you can do this, and you don't have any shirt on or any clothes, but if you were to clap right here, okay, most people, because this is your heart and lung area, you would actually find what? You would actually find that it bruises, because guess what? You're emotionally damaged in your heart and your lungs, and physically damaged in your heart and in your lungs. And that's the God's truth. And you can think, I don't know what I'm talking about, but guess what? That will be the majority of the population, and it will go on forever, because we're all being programmed, right? Oh, a little quickie, okay? A little quickie adjustment, a little needle, okay? Oh, you just need a massage. Oh, you just need to calm down. You just need to lay in bed. Really? What's that going to do to get rid of the calcification, put it back in the bones, and take the scar tissue and make it into connective tissue? Sometimes I just, you know what? Let's stop. Let's question everything. Let's question everything. And when you're questioning people, it's not because they're lying, it's because they've been ruled, schooled, and fooled, okay, from the school they went to. Yes, you got it. Remember something, I made up this whole training, okay? I didn't get this from a governmental school, okay? I made this training up. I have a doctorate in natural medicine and one in acupuncture, but the non-surgical I made up. The whole life coach certification for emotional, nutritional, and physical, that's mine. There's nothing like it in the world. And we'll prove that we can crack the coconut from the inside out with anybody and change their life. Thank you for being honest and real. You're welcome, Desiree. What's the black gold made from? The black gold is made from, actually, it's made from humic fulvic, and the humic fulvic comes out of Drumheller, Alberta. It is the largest humic fulvic mine area, and it's the highest vibrational humic fulvic. That's where most of the dinosaurs were, because humic fulvic is actually millions of years old crustacean and plant life, and it holds so much, not crustacean like bugs, okay, but it's plant life, and it's millions of years old. And what you're getting from that is you're getting 60 to 70 minerals when you take black gold. And when you take the black gold from your mouth to your rectum, what it does, it gets rid of parasites, heavy metals, bad bacteria, fungus, and it drops off the 60 to 70 minerals. And then when it gets to your large intestine, it reinstates your good bacteria. Okay? Tony, for sciatic pain, go see Atlas Chiropractor. It will go away guaranteed. Well, unless you're getting rid of this scar tissue, unless you're getting rid and putting the calcium back in, it's going to come back. And I'm going to tell you that he's not right about that. It'll go away guaranteed, but it's going to come back. How many times have you went to a therapist and it's always scar tissue and calcification, Tony? If he's not looking after getting the calcium back into the bones from the inflammation of pulling the calcium out to buffer down the acidity, and if you're not putting electrical charge back in and pulling those fibers apart that are stuck together like crazy glue, then how are you getting rid of the scar tissue? Okay? Let me see here. So what should one do? So what should one who took antibiotics do to recover the losses and get their healing on track? Well, the black gold. And getting on a whole plant-based diet and doing black gold and daily cleansing tea. You don't have to do anything else. You might want to put curcumin cayenne 5,000 capsules in on the plan, but if you want, you can give me a call at 469-861-9454, and it's a USA number. You can call anywhere. You can call me on WhatsApp if you don't have long distance calling. And I just need some details a little bit. Your weight, what you've been eating, what's going on, did you have any surgeries, are you on any drugs? Because it'll really help me. And I don't mind spending 10, 15 minutes with anyone, so you can feel free to call me. What about slip discs? There's no such thing. No such thing as a slip disc. Okay, so what you're getting is, okay, and she goes between L4 and L5. What did I tell everybody? L3, L4, L5 is what goes because this person is losing tone in their abdomen and pooping in their pelvis and having to use their back muscles. Okay, and so you got your back tightening up really tight, and then you got the pooping in the pelvis, which is infecting and inflaming, which is actually what happens. Well, you've got a vertebrae, then you've got a disc, and then you've got a vertebrae. So, right? So she says the disc is slipping. Now, what she's saying is, see, what's happening is the disc is thinning out on one end, and it's fatter on the other end because it's inflamed over here. All I need to do is one treatment. Now, you can believe this or not. I worked on a lady when I was in Phoenix, and she went for surgery on L3, L4, L5. They said that she had to come back in for surgery. I worked on that area for 15 minutes, and I guarantee you it's over. You have to understand it's the same thing all the time. You guys are, they're BSing you. You know what? If you go to a surgeon, what do? Surgery. They're not going to tell you to come to me. You know, if you really needed surgery, I would tell you to go to a surgeon. I'm not going to try to keep you to get your money. But a surgeon only sells surgery, and a medical doctor only sells drugs and surgery. Yes or no? And you know, me, a kind of guy like me, I got to watch it. I mean, if there's somewhere else you should go, or if I can't help you, I'm going to say it right away, because they're looking for any reason to come and just gotcha. And that's the truth. You know, I am not in the big boys club. All right? So you can fix this. Just know that. And I would always tell everyone, get a perfect day consultation. It's only $95. And that's an hour-long consult. You'll get the audio. And guess what? You'll also have lifetime support with that practitioner. And if you can't get them, you call me. Okay, you call me at 469-861-8884. I get back to everybody. All right. So the SI joints are not connected to the iliac bones. I didn't say they weren't connected. I'm telling you the area, the SI joint area, it should only be as big as, like, a little bigger than the head of the eraser on a pencil. But what happens is it gets bigger because of scar tissue and calcification. That's what I was saying. So it's the SI joint itself. All right? Okay. Spondylolisthesis. Now what that is guess what? Guess what you've got? You've got no circulation in there. You are a scar tissue calcification block. Okay? How about this? Spinal stenosis. It's the same. So if you had spinal stenosis, they tell you in spinal stenosis that the nerves are dead. Okay? I'll tell you what I'll do. I have from an actual surgeon in New York. I did this a few months ago, but I'll do it again tomorrow, and I'll prove to you that that's not true. It's all calcification, and it's scar tissue that's causing that. And the same with spinal stenosis. It can be reversed. We do it all the time. Okay? Remember something. When they tell you there's nothing else we can do, well, that's right. They're not trained anywhere else. If it's not drugs and it's not surgery, what else do they do? Help me out. Come on, help me out. Or they tell you, we can't do anything for you. Just go home. There's nothing we can do. Yes or no? Okay. I have severe scoliosis. I really need help. Appreciate you so much from North Carolina. Well, severe scoliosis, you really need to get a really good exercise plan and a good diet. Whenever you get really stressed out or whenever you go off track with your diet, your scoliosis gets worse. Inflammation causes dehydration, and it causes the bow to get worse in you. And the reality is that I'm working with a gentleman right now, and he's in the clinic. We have a clinic attached to the studio. And in the clinic here, and he's got really severe scoliosis. I worked on him 2 weeks ago, and go look it up. Scoliosis reversed. Go look it up in my video. And we brought down his scoliosis by the first treatment with cell sonic regeneration, and with me working on him, I brought his scoliosis down by 60%. Now, I'm not saying it stayed there, but only 20% of it came back. 40% of it held. So the reality is this. You've got to go in and take the scar tissue apart, get rid of the it's always the same thing. You know what? It's like this. Oh my God, does this guy know anything else? No, because there is nothing else. You know what? Let me tell you something. Your doctor, okay, when he finishes, okay, university and he goes for his medical degree, he goes for another 4 years to 8 years. And guess what? He knows none of this. He doesn't know anything about diet. He doesn't know anything about detoxification. Understand that. Health is simple. It was meant to be complicated because you're the harvest. Tell me they don't harvest your money. Tell me they don't harvest your pain. There's an entity on this planet that lives off your pain and suffering. And if you don't believe me, then why are there so many people dedicated to pain and suffering? Please answer the question. I would really suggest that everyone go to bhnapp.com, okay? Go to bhnapp.com. And what I'd really like you to do, I'd like you to go into the Evolve section, and I'd like you to watch Reverse the Irreversible. That's all. And it's all there. 1, 2, buckle your shoe. I proved the whole thing all the way to surgery. I used to get kicked in the butt with a pair of steel cap boots. My father used to try to kick me in the butt with his too. Maybe we had the same father. Boots worn by my stepfather, so I think it's possible why my lower back hurts. Yes, and guess what? You have actually emotional trauma, okay, and it's locked up in your low back and butt. I am not kidding you. And Jade, watch my schedule. I'm here now, but I will be in Florida. If you live in Florida, I will work on you for free because you don't need to take a butt kicking, and we can go in and unleash that. Okay, so I'm going to be in Stuart, Florida. I don't even know when, but I'm going to be in Canada, in Calgary doing a course. I'm going to be in Florida doing a course. I am going to be in Puerto Rico in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be Vancouver Island probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I mean it. I would work on you and prove to you that that you have emotional stuff in there. And when I go in there and actually release it, you're going to feel that emotional swell. You might even cry and release all of this. Okay? Because whether it's emotional or physical abuse, we take it in. Okay? And understand something, everyone. If I can just say this to you, all right? Understand this. It's not because you didn't have value. It's not because the person hated you. That people can only give what they are. And that you can't pick your parents, but now you can pick your friends. You can pick who you hang around with. And understand something. People that abuse themselves are going to abuse everybody else around them. And understand this. That's the only way he knew how to raise you. He wasn't raised with unconditional love and care. Okay, so try to let it go from your heart, okay? All right? I have hard knots on my SI joints, so much pain. Okay, Claudia, you've been on here before, Claudia. I already told you, if you follow my schedule, you know what? If you want to come on, all I'll do is we'll just show your low back. We won't show your face. I'll use the Cellsonic, and I'll do non-surgical, and I'm going to tell you, I can pick up on you, Claudia. It will take me 20 minutes to do the whole thing and release it all. How's that? Is that quick enough? Okay. Heather, how do you break up calcium crystals in the ear for hearing loss? Well, that's a little harder. You know what? You're going to have to soak. You're going to have to soak every night. I would be putting in infinite iodine first for about 1 to 3 minutes and let it soak. Okay. Then you can empty it out if you want. Okay. And then what you do is you can put in ear clear. Okay. And ear restore. And you can let it soak in there. Circulation is what's going to get it out. And if it's actually calcium, you have to use a product called Maragen, Maragen. It's the only calcium ion product in the world. It will actually pull the calcium back into the bones, and you'll have no displaced calcium throughout your body. Remember, you will have bone loss. If you've got calcium, like you said, a calcium problem, you'll have bone loss in your jaw. Okay? You will. You'll have bone loss in your jaw or your cheekbone because the calcium had to go because you had inflammation in the ear. Where there's inflammation, you'll get calcification eventually to buffer down and make sure it's not so acidic. We wouldn't want some kind of mutation in there, okay? All right? Replying to Heather, I'd like to know the answer to that question as well. I don't know what that was. You're in North, I think that's North Carolina. Is it North Carolina, Gene? I'm not coming to North Carolina, but we have a therapist in North Carolina, and they just called me today saying that they'd like to buy a Cellsonic regeneration, and he already does Wolfe Non-Surgical. It's extremely difficult for people to break through the programming they have been subjected to all their life, even when they hear the truth. Change your thoughts, you will change your life. Okay, why isn't this working? Okay, that's it. Anyways, I just want to tell you that a lot of people, when they saw the bruising, you know, like this. It's the funniest thing, eh? Tim was telling me when he was talking to his mother. Okay, his mother said, "Oh, I wouldn't work with anybody that caused me any pain." And Tim said, "You know what I said to her? Mom, you've been in pain all your life. I was in pain with him for no more than 30 minutes, and he just freed up my whole life. I was in pain every day." And understand something, everyone. If it wasn't for the dysfunctional programming and therapy out there, are you kidding me with physiotherapists? Are you really kidding me? Okay? Are you kidding me? I'm going to say it just one time. If you're not dealing on trying to bring life back to the tendons, the ligaments, the organs, the muscles, the cartilage, and restoring and helping it to grow back and become youthful and vital like it is when it's healthy, because that's what we can do. And if you're not trying to get the calcium back into the bones, well, forget it. What kind of therapist are you? I'm not putting anybody down. And understand something. You may not believe this, but the majority of the population aren't looking to get well. They're only looking to buffer down the pain, because whether you believe it or not, on a deeper level, we've all been programmed that suffering is the way to the Lord. Suffering is the way to get people's love. Hey, honey, how was your day? Oh, my God, I worked so hard today. Oh, honey, I feel so bad for you. Why didn't he say, honey, my day was great. How are you? I love you. Let's go for a walk. Let's have some fun. You know what? You watch the way you talk and watch the way people talk to you. Okay? Listen to me. We have become low vibrational zombies. I am not putting anybody down. Somebody said to me on one of my one-a-days, I don't like when somebody puts me down. I'm not putting anybody down. You tell me that we're not becoming zombies, and don't tell me we're not falling for their pitch, okay? The next thing they're going to do is bring in Elon Musk and sell us transhumanism. They gave us the Apple Watch to wear, the phone to hold in our hand forever, and then they're going to say, and guess what? It won't be hard to sell. Anybody that's coming up around the age of 8 and 9 years old, I guarantee you that 75% of those kids, by the time they're teenagers or in their early 20s, they'll opt to have it in their head, put into their head and into their body. That's where we're going. Everything's a setup. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not political or nothing. I just watched this big soap opera. You know, Elon Musk is with Donald Trump. Yeah, well, why is he with him? And understand something. He's the same guy that has all these 5G satellites up here. So you know what? He's not your friend. He's not your friend. These people are not your friend. And then you're going to say, well, you're not my friend either, Daryl. And I'll tell you something. I'd like to prove that I could be. I'd like to prove that guess what? I want to serve everybody. I do. I want to serve you in the best way that I can. My God, what if we all really cared? What if we all really cared? Okay, what if we were just nice to ourselves and each other? What if we really just had one commandment? Unconditional love for ourselves and everything else and everyone else, and we forgot everything. Where would we be? Oh, probably there's a lot of people out there going, oh, you'll be in hell then. Oh, really? I just can't believe how people can be so programmed and to live and suffer their whole life. I fear nothing and I will suffer for nothing. I will be here for everyone. Okay, I am no better than anyone else, but I will have a better life than almost everyone else. God bless. Thanks for joining me. It's still Black Friday sale if you want to check out our products. And just know this, okay? All right? That which created the universe has always loved you. God bless.